Hello, and welcome to Module 1. So this is our first week together, and if you watch the introduction video, you're probably already tired of the sound of my voice, but a couple of things that I left out. I do want to let you know that late work, I don't love late work because I do feel like we kind of build module to module, but I will accept late work. You won't get any feedback on it, and I'm a feedback girl. I like to give feedback, but if work is late, you'll get nothing. So just be aware of that. And the discussion, because that's within the time constraint of the week, that can't be made up. So if you're only going to turn in one piece of the requirements, the discussion is the one that you want to do. And also the way that the course is timed, let me see if I can do this. Oh, I didn't close them up. Doggone it. Okay. So you'll see that everything is due on Monday at midnight. Basically, it might go a little later. For some reason, it's not even Pacific time, it's like Mountain time. So, but midnight Monday is when things should be in. And the way that the weeks are laid out. So the first one is the 22nd, things will be due, but things get weird around here because that's school vacation week. So module 4, the online multimedia week, you actually have 2 weeks, or I'm sorry, adaptive and assistive technology. You actually have 2 weeks to get that in because we're following the Mass public school calendar. So President's Day week is usually February vacation. If that's not your schedule, I'm sorry, but most of the people that is. And so I do try to make it so if people need to travel, they're able to do that. Then we will also, let's see, this week, because of MSLA, I've given Module 8, the Student Technology Promotion Project, because I think people probably do a lot of work on the weekends. And that weekend, if you're going to MSLA, that's going to cut into your work week. So other than the discussion, everything for that week will be due on the 25th, as will Module 9. So you've got a little wiggle room there. And then in April, it gets crazy because Modules 11 and 12, it's just a ton of work. You have 2 weeks to do it, and you can spread it out over those 2 weeks. It's a lot of reading. It's not that it's so much work, but it can be, it's reading about cataloging, basically. So I want to give you a little more space for that. And there's not a lot of, it's just discussion in your blog that week. You don't have to do any activities or assignments. Plus, April vacation's right in there. So you get basically 3 weeks for modules 11 and 12, which hopefully that works nicely for you. All right, so now to module 1, our first module. What I'll do is walk you through the different readings as we go through. What you're going to need to do is you're going to need to create your blog, and there are Blogger, which is Google's blogging tool, works great. I've used it for years and years and years. People like WordPress. Of course, there's another one that I am not. You can frankly try the Google and look for blogging tools. WordPress is the one second to Blogger in popularity with students here. If you've already got a blog, either from a previous class of mine or just from your own life, you can feel free, if you're comfortable putting up your posts on that blog, that's fine. You don't have to create a new blog if you've already got one, because you clearly already know how to create one, but it's about getting the content up there. Your content is going to be the 10 things that you think teachers should know about technology. Now, there's this article from Allison Olson, maybe. It wasn't even an article. It was a blog post where she asked people to give her she was doing a professional development presentation, and she wanted to know the top 10 things people thought teachers should know about technology. And so in the comments, which it was before the days when you didn't read the comments. The comments are great. They're super supportive and they give her some good ideas. But I went to look for it again this year and it's gone. It was old. I think it was 2010 maybe. But I found it on the Wayback Machine. I found the first page. And so I put it in a PDF so that you can see what I'm talking about. But now we have AI. So feel free to go to an AI bot and put in, top 10 things for teachers. I used ChatGPT. It's just my go-to, but I did 3 different prompts and got 3 different things, and it was kind of interesting. So feel free to go in there and have them generate the 10 for you, and then you can change them up. Whenever you use AI, and I'm going to say this a lot because it's important that we do it, it's important we teach our children to do it. Absolutely use it if you like, but make sure that you say what you use for a prompt so that we can see where it came from. And then what your edits were. Like, AI said this, but I changed it to this. And just because that way, you recognize that it's a tool and it's not a substitution for your own brain. At least not yet. We'll see how things go. All right, so you're going to put that in your blog. That's going to be your first blog post, is your 10 things you or AI thinks teachers should know about technology, with your own flair in there. And then also go to an AI image generator. I usually use Starry AI, Night Cafe. There's a bunch of them. And just create an image based on whatever you want, something you think is pretty. I took a children's young adult literature course for a program I'm working on. And the way that I had to read a ton of different books, and one of the ways that I sort of illustrated the books was I would use AI generated images. Some of them were bonkers. It was really fun. All right. So, but try one out just so that you can. AI's, I mean, it's really big, and who knows? Maybe I don't think so, but maybe it is going to be a flash in the pan. When I first started teaching this class, there was no such thing as Twitter. So we didn't even talk about it because it was barely nascent. And then the third year that I taught it, Twitter was everything. And now it's sort of, oh yeah, Twitter, that used to be a thing. So you never know. You never know what's going to happen. And that's why, we don't focus on specific tools, but rather about what we're doing with them. So with that in mind, so everything's right here. These are what you have to do. And that's where the video is now. All right. So this is the first article. Librarians can play a key role implementing artificial intelligence in schools. That's from School Library Journal, which is my absolute favorite magazine in the world. And you're going to find you're going to be getting a lot of School Library Journal articles here, because honestly, it feeds our profession so beautifully. I would recommend, if you can get I pay for my own, but if you can get your district to pay for it, or it's honestly worth it. Then, okay, so this is one of the articles about change in libraries. And sorry, this is so small, but it's about how, COVID totally kicked our profession in the butt. Myself and the middle school librarian in my district, we went off. We were working with with public librarians to do like a citywide reading challenge. We did Zoom trivia things as a fundraiser for the local food bank for our, every different school in the district. And I mean, we really had to figure out what to do, because I think it was such a freaky time. Well, you all remember. I barely remember. Gosh, I blocked a lot of it out, I suppose. But anyway, this is how COVID had revved up our job, and what Diorio believes it is, what that means for us down the line. It's a lot of public library stuff, but it is, interesting. And then it references the translation of practice for school librarians, which I love, which is from the New York City school library system. And it looks at the differences between what you would do in school and what you do remotely. And honestly, who knows? I mean, we've got this in our back pocket now, but it is interesting to look at that, shift. All right. Then talking about blogs, and I apologize for the quality of this. This is just what chapter is it? It says right at the top, chapter 7. So this is just chapter 7, and fair use allows for 10% of a thing to be used for educational purposes. So we're all good. Copyright wise, plus Renee would totally be fine. She's she has a lot of opinions about copyright, which you will learn if you purchase her book, Create to Learn, which I do urge you to do. This is the only requirement, I think, in the course, but it's very useful. So this is going to explain blogs, websites, the difference, how to use them with students, that kind of thing. And then Richardson is I can't remember when this is from, what date. I think I have it at the end. It's very old. He calls them weblogs. Okay, well, that's just turning into nothing. But this is from like the beginning of time, weblogs, which have been shortened, of course, to blogs. But he does a nice job of just talking about what distinguishes a blog from your run-of-the-mill website, which is, you know, it's not static. They're not built on static, which I guess I just told you, but it's a really interesting look at it. I would, if you have the time, I would urge you to take a look at it. And then the last thing I have, and I'm a little embarrassed that I just found out about this. So this was back in 2010, I think. Yeah, 2010. Ruben Puente sorry, Dr. Dr. P, created this idea, this sort of model about how technology is used. What does it do? So is it a substitute? Does it augment the curriculum? Does it modify the task, or does it redefine? And it's just kind of a, it's very philosophical, I guess. But I thought it was a way that I had not. I just saw a presentation a couple months ago from MassQ, which I'm gonna brings up some MassQ stuff later too. It's a great organization. It's Massachusetts computer using educators or something like that, which is all of us now. But this was just an interesting way to look at how education, how, the classroom, what technology does for it. So if you're the sort of person who wants to do a little bit of a deep dive into some pedagogy, that would be an interesting thing for you. All right. I believe that that is everything. So to recap, your blog, build it, come up with your 10 things, and put that up on your blog, and then do your discussion. And if you have any questions, you can email me, or you can put it in the help tab, and I will see you in the discussion boards. Thank you very much. How do I end this? Allow me to end. There we go. Now it's showing up. All right. Bye.